Never stop reading the Bible.
Welcome.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're really digging into a pivotal section of the book of Job.
Chapters 34 through 38, right?
Exactly. This is where we get Elihu laying out his arguments to Job, who's, is still deep in his suffering.
And then, crucially, God himself steps in. It's quite the shift.
It really is. Our goal today is to try and unpack the core ideas in this intense dialogue.
Yeah, what's fascinating is seeing Elihu grapple with God's justice amidst Job's obvious pain. It really sets the stage.
Okay, so let's jump into Elihu's second argument. That's chapter 34. He's pretty blunt.
Mm-hmm.
He criticizes Job for insisting on his own righteousness, basically saying Job is accusing God of being unfair.
Right. Elihu really hammers home the point that God's judgment is impartial, absolutely fair.
And he thinks Job's complaints. Well, he says Job is sort of siding with wicked people by talking like that. That's strong stuff.
It is. He's making a big theological claim.
Yeah.
God's standard of justice doesn't bend. It applies equally to everyone.
No
exceptions. And he sees Job's insistence on his innocence as, challenging God's very character.
Okay, then chapter 35, Elihu tackles Job's question. What's the point of being good if you suffer anyway?
Yeah, that's a core question Job's been wrestling with.
And Elihu's response is interesting. He argues that our goodness or our sin doesn't actually affect God's essential being.
Exactly. It's not like God gets something or loses something because of what we do. He's moving away from that kind of transactional view.
So it's not a simple cause and effect with God.
That seems to be Elihu's point. He even suggests that maybe prayers go unanswered not because God is unjust, but maybe because of, human pride or lack of real repentance.
Makes you think differently about prayer, doesn't it?
It definitely adds a layer.
Then in chapters 36 and 37, Elihu really doubles down on God's justice and, his sheer greatness.
Right, he emphasizes the power.
He brings up this idea that suffering might actually be a form of discipline, like training.
A way to refine the righteous, he suggests. While the wicked, they face destruction.
And he paints this incredible picture of God's power through nature, storms, weather.
It's very vivid.
Yeah.
He connects God's justice to his control over the whole natural world. It's like he's saying, look at the power and order here. That same power governs justly.
It's quite an argument he builds.
Definitely. He's making his case forcefully.
And then, chapter 38, everything changes. God speaks.
Directly to Job. Out of a storm. I mean, the drama there is incredible.
And what does God do? He doesn't directly answer Job's complaints, does he?
No, not at all. Instead, he just unleashes this torrent of questions, really powerful questions.
Questions designed to show Job, how little he actually knows, right? Like, where were you when I laid the earth foundation?
Or setting the boundaries for the sea, yeah. Challenging Job's understanding of creation itself.
He asks about controlling the weather, feeding the animals. It's just one thing after another. Breathtaking, really.
It's the absolute turning point. God isn't debating Job's specific case like Elihu was.
No.
He's revealing the immense, unbridgeable gap between God's wisdom and power and, human understanding. The sheer scale of creation is the evidence.
So God's ways are just beyond us.
That's the overwhelming message, isn't it? His plans, his reasons, they operate on a level we can't fully grasp.
Yeah, the main takeaway from God's response seems crystal clear. God is the ultimate creator, the ultimate ruler. And his ways, they're just not fully knowable to us humans.
It's profoundly humbling. Puts our own perspective in his place.
Absolutely. It forces us to reconsider our place in the grand scheme of things.
And it leaves you with a big question, doesn't it? How do we live with that mystery, that gap between our need for answers and the reality of a God beyond full comprehension?
A question to sit with, for sure, from the Center Studio.